in my unit, we actually teach about 9 different classes. So every other week I'm coming in and we're actually highlighting the class. So what have we done already? We've done Wild Brows. We've done a dash out the door. Right, and we did just a foundation class. So wow, I've come back a few times. So what did we do last week? Oh, Wild Brows. It was Wild Brows. Okay. So what we're going to do today is called Flawless Face. So what we usually do is of course, you would come in a little bit early and your consultant would match you, okay? And we have some nice little foundation tools to help match, the color and shade of your skin. So that's not going to be a problem. And so what I'm going to do is actually take my makeup off, right? And I'm going to show you the products that I use, but I am going to try some other foundations so you guys get the gist of it. Because every woman is different, and what we like to do in Mary Kay is customize your look, right? What's unique to you and what's going to work for you, okay? So I'm going to start off with our little 3-in-1 cleanser that comes on a little facial cloth. And I'm going to take this off. So I didn't bring any eye makeup remover because I'm going to keep my eyes on if that's okay with you guys. Okay? You already started? Okay. So I'm going to take this off. And then you're gonna say, well, her skin doesn't look too bad. Well, I've been cheating because I've been using Mary Kay products for about 10 years. So, so don't be mad. Don't be mad. All right, then I'm gonna rinse. And I'm gonna tell you guys about each product as I use them. And I don't know if you want to. Everybody have a profile? Or I don't know if they want a piece of paper, but you can just make a note in your phone too if it's something that you're like, okay, I want to remember that. But you will have the opportunity to try the products. I think I got it all off. How's that look? Okay.
Like you still have makeup. Right. Your skin is amazing.
I do have good skin. I'm telling you, I've cheated. I have cheated. And I know how to strategically keep my brows on. I did take brows off last week for you guys. They were like, wow. So get with your consultant because the Wild Brow class is a lot of fun and it's easy. So we just did that last week. Okay, so the product I'm going to start with next, or the first product after cleansing your face, is, of course, you can do your own moisturizer, but I'm actually going to jump right into CC cream, okay? I do use a Time-Wise day cream moisturizer every day, part of the 3D system, because it actually protects my skin, defies radicals, free radicals, earth, wind, and fire, those are free radicals, okay? So it prevents the oxidation process. And I also use it because it has natural skin brighteners in it, and it uses that herbal extract called resveratrol. But CC cream is like my trusty. I wear this every day without fail. If I want something quick and easy, I call it vacation makeup because I can wear this and my brows and mascara and I'm done. Right? Okay? So it's like the go-to. I like it because it has a little pump, so I just pump it onto my fingers and apply that. But I've already put some in my tray, so I'm just going to show you. It just really, this is my shade, Deep. Okay? So I just put it where it needs to go. And I just work that in. And it starts out where you might think, oh my gosh, it's darker than she is. But it blends over 4 to 5 shades. So in our Mary Kay starter kits, we actually get 5 tubes. And those 5 tubes cover every shade of woman. Every shade of woman. Isn't it interesting? I love it. And the reason they call it CC cream is because it is what's called a complexion corrector. So it easily evens out your skin tone. So that's why some people just like, oh my gosh, I really love that. I really love that. All right.
And do you normally apply that with your fingers?
I do.
Okay.
At home I do. You can put it on with the brush, but I do. Because it's very similar to a moisturizer, but it's got a little tint to it. So I'm just trying to get strategically close to my brows, so I don't want to have highlight around my brows. It also has SPF 15 in it. So it's got that sunscreen protector. You guys see that? All right. How does that look? Good? All right. You look familiar. All right. What's your name? Welcome. Hi, Sharon. Okay. Hi, Sharon Williams. All right. So the next product I'm actually going to apply is called a foundation primer. It also has sunscreen in it. So this feels like liquid silk or liquid satin. I really love this product. So I apply this on all over. And what this does is that actually, number one, it protects your skin, kind of like a windshield. So then the products that you put on already that morning, you know, like your cleanser, your moisturizer, your eye cream, it kind of seals it in. So that product is working for you all day. But the other piece of it, it has SPF, so you're layering sunscreen, which is nice for protecting the skin. But it also fills in fine pores of your skin, so your foundation looks a lot more smooth. Some people skip that step. I can tell when they've skipped it, but I won't give that away. But I don't skip it, because you can feel a difference. If you put foundation on skin that's not primed, you can feel it. And you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot my primer. Yeah, so, all right, so that is the primer, so I'm all primed, I can feel that. All right, the next step I'm actually going to use, I am going to use my brush, because I didn't bring my own under eye corrector. So this is just a concealer brush, and I use under eye corrector every day. I have my dad's dark circles. You know, we've all got something. So I actually just apply this, because this is a flawless face class, so we want this to pretty much just look flawless. I did forget my Mary Kay blender sponge, but that's okay. All right, so this is not concealer. How many of you guys thought this was concealer?
I did, because I want to know what's the difference.
This is an under eye corrector. So what it does is neutralize the skin tone before you put on any concealer or your foundation. And any excess, guys, I just really put it down the bridge of my nose. And typically what I do at home is while that's on, I'm letting it bake. So I'll do my CC cream, my primer, then I put the under eye corrector on, and then guess what I do? My brows. That is my normal everyday. It's like my next step, okay? So it doesn't take a whole lot of time. Since I don't have my extra blending sponge, I have some extra sponges. So what I do is just kind of press that in. So I'm showing you guys that. So remember the under eye corrector, let's say you have a red spot on your face, or you can see like veins look kind of have a greenish or bluish hue to it depending on your skin tone. So it will kind of take that color out. And it's for everyone, it's a universal shade. It's like an apricot color, but if you look at the color wheel, it's the opposite of like blue and green, so it neutralizes it, if you think about that color wheel. So yeah. So people are like, well, why is it so light? But it actually neutralizes color, so it works pretty well for that.
So there's only one color?
It's one color. One color. One color. The next step I'm going to do is my concealer. Now concealer, you can use concealer a couple ways. You can use it actually before and after foundation. Who knew that? That technique is called beveling. So like I have a little dark spot here, I will cover that. If I have a little dark spot here, you just cover that. So it just kind of takes, I always say concealer just takes years off. Right? Don't we want to take years off?
Yeah.
Amen? Okay, I'm like, oh, y'all getting a little too quiet. I'm like, just keep it real, keep 100, so. Now, when we do the eyebrow class, I teach you guys how to use concealer around your brows to make them sharp and more defined. So while that's baking a little bit, I'll go over that a little bit. Just kind of sharpen my brows. So see how I just kind of did that a little bit? We did all this last week, but just outlines them. So I like to do that before my foundation. Do in the habit of doing that with my brows. Even though I put my brows on about 5 something this morning. But it is makeup that lasts all day, okay? All right, so once that's there, then I actually will bevel that as well and press that into the skin. Now, the concealer you can use anywhere on the face that you have a blemish or you have discoloration. So, you know, just my area that I have left, thank God, is just really around my eyes. But, you know, I do makeup sometimes for weddings and things like that. But you can use it anywhere on the face that you want to cover. And it is something that you can also layer. So I'm not giving this like a whole lot of time to bake, but I think you guys get the gist of it. Okay? All right. So the next step, we have different products that you can always use. So what I'm going to do, because in our list it says your choice of foundation. How many of you guys prefer liquid? Not many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 6. Okay. Right. So I do have liquid. Mary Kay has 3 different types of foundation. We have a 3D, which is an age fighting foundation. It comes in matte, which is for basically people with oily skin. I have oily skin. We also have it in luminous, which is for people who have very dry skin. You need a moisturizer that's going to hydrate your skin throughout the day. Then we also have my favorite, which is mineral powder foundation. Okay. Now our liquid comes in 28 shades, I believe. All these shades, no, I'm just joking. Not all those shades, but about 28 shades for each type. Yeah, that covers ivory, beige, and bronze. And it's also more specific now based on your tone of skin. If you have a neutral tone of skin, we have a foundation for you. If you have a warm tone, we have some, because you know we have undertones. And if you also have a cool tone of the skin, we have a shade for you. There's so much science to makeup. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so interesting when I'm talking to the dermatologist and I'm like, oh my God, this is so exciting. You just didn't even know all this existed. Yeah. And now we have a director that's a food chemist, and she was like, oh my gosh, I just love all this chemistry. And I'm like, I know. All right. So, but it's amazing how they do so much testing to find out who we are. So, mineral powder makeup, I like it because I like a dry finish because my skin is oily, so I'm just used to it. And so I'm going to actually put a little bit of liquid on one side of my face. I'm going to do a little bit of cream to powder on another side of my face, and then I'm going to top it off with minerals. Because I do have customers who love liquid, but they still want to dust in the mineral on top and a little bit of translucent on top. So, you know, like, you know, sometimes your customers will teach you. But again, it's what works for them and what their preferences are. So we're going to get into that. So I'm going to try a little bit of the liquid foundation. So I'm just going to put this on the tray. We have this amazing brush. Oh God, yes. We should have, I think I have an extra brush, and maybe someone, Gloria, could you grab one out of there and pass it around so people can feel this? It feels like mink. I mean, that's the best way I can describe it. It feels amazing. All right. And I hope I have the right shade today. Like I told you, I don't wear liquid, but I don't know. The great thing about the liquid foundation is it goes on one shade, but it has dry down time. So it has to blend in. I love this brush, oh my gosh. And the foundation, by the time it dries, it is your shade, but it also helps you not miss a spot, if you think about that. So I like how they formulated it so it goes on wet, and then it dries to your shade. Now the other thing I forgot to do that I typically do is I outline my lips.
With the concealer?
Uh-huh.
Do you outline your lips so what your lipstick doesn't run, or?
Well, it's kind of two ways. I do that to make a really nice perimeter, so then when I put on lip liner, my lips pop. Okay, and then I have a shadow under my lip. Most people do. Not a 5 o'clock shadow, but it's a shadow, you know, but, so. Everything that happens in here stays in here.
Not when you lie, not when you lie, baby, not when you lie.
Don't dare.
Did you touch that thing?
No.
Yeah.
Do you need some water?
You guys feel the brush?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Amazing.
It just came out
that
last
the-
month.
is that-
We're so
I was gonna
excited.
say,
It's new. I know. I know. Don't beat us up, Emily. I know. It's new. It's new. And then when I have a studio in Danville, so when they came out, I only ordered like 10, and then I was down to 2, and someone was like, "Well, can I get 2?" I'm like, "No." I don't have money.
And that's what it's called, mineral
Yes,
powder brush?
It's a new
Blending
no,
brush.
it's a
Blending brush.
yeah, it's a foundation blending brush.
Oh.
But you guys see, that's my shade. Isn't that crazy? And I normally don't wear liquid, but it's so nice and light. It feels like nothing. So I like that. So that's just half of my face. The other half, I'm actually gonna put on a little bit of our cream to powder. And I do have a cream to powder in a palette that I take with me. You know how you want to have touch-up makeup just in case. So I do use that. So this is a cream to powder. It's thicker, and it's called an Endless Performance Cream to Powder Foundation. It goes on as a cream, but it dries as a powder. I know. So they got all of our bases covered. You guys see how much thicker that is? Can you guys see that? Okay. It's much thicker. So when you're really doing like a photo shoot, you want heavier coverage. So like when we go to our Mary Kay events, I get my professional photos there. So I make sure I put cream to powder on. But I have this, so I know this works. But it's definitely thicker. You guys see a difference?
Yeah.
Not bad. So again, it's all in preference. So we let people try both types of foundation, and then last but not least, my favorite, which is mineral makeup. This actually will go over well on either side. All of our products work so well together, it's amazing. All right, so mineral is one of my favorites. And guys, your very last strokes on your face should always be down, because as women, we have very fine facial hairs. You do not want to swirl and twirl, okay? Swirl and twirl too much, and you forget to go down, you go outside and the sun hits you the wrong way and you look like the Lion King. Don't always make sure downward on the end, okay? And so that's that. I'm gonna put a little bit of translucent powder on. Translucent powder is nice to put on, especially also for photos. Just put a little dash. And this can be layered as well. So I do a little translucent, and then this is our finishing spray. Make sure it's right. And then I just kind of mist. Last one should be like an XX, so. How does that look?
Wow.
Not bad?
That's good.
Okay. All right, well that is our Flawless face class, and I'll tell you guys a little bit about these products again. This is our CC cream. typically lasts you about, 4 to 6 months, just depending on how much you use it, but just once a day. I always tell people 1 or 2 pumps, that's really all you need for a face application. Most of us in here would be, we have your shade, there's only 5 shades, but, my shade is deep. My girlfriend here, Miss Emily, raise your hand. She is medium to deep. My girlfriend Peggy, she is light to medium. And my girlfriend right here, what was your name again?
Hedda.
Hedda is very light, but you see how she has those red undertones, right? So she'd be a very light CC. So it's so easy to match everybody. I can just look at people and it's like, okay, that's your shape, got it, yeah. So it makes it real easy. This is only $20, so it's an incredible deal. And again, this has SPF 15. The foundation primer, also SPF 15, and I believe it's also 20, okay? It went up in price, it's so popular, right? It used to be 18, I was like, what happened? What happened? The under eye corrector and the concealer, these are like besties. Did you guys see a difference with that under eye corrector that I use? It's crazy. So that's why I use it every day. You kind of get addicted to it, so I'm like, it just takes those years off. And then the concealer, they're both only 16, okay? What's nice about it is it has a doe foot applicator, so you don't waste any product. So I had to put it on the tray just for hygiene purposes, but you would just use what you need and you don't waste any,
So
okay?
you don't necessarily need a different brush to put that on, or
No.
you do?
You do not. You can use the brush that's in it.
Okay.
Unless you are only gonna use this once every other year, and then it might get old.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah. But typically, these last people at least 6 to 8 months. They last
Both
a
of
while.
those have the brush, right?
They both have that applicator in it. They used to not. Back in the day, we just had tubes. Anybody remember that?
Mhm.
Right, everybody remember the old concealer, so there was just tubes, so you had to have a concealer brush, right?
Yep,
Well, it was
yep.
like, I had it, I knew it to tube, right. But, now it has the doe foot applicator, so it just makes it really easy. So, just like a lip gloss applicator, same thing. Matte foundation, our foundations are $25. They last you a while, you only need a little bit. I still have product of everything I tried today on my tray. So, you just don't wanna waste any. Our mineral powder foundation, this retails for $20, okay? This usually, one of these lasts me a year. I mean, you can't beat that, especially when you know you got your shade, okay? And I forget about, I think it's 16 for the translucent powder. This will last you years.
Yeah.
I really think they give you too much. I mean, I probably have had, well, it's okay, yeah. I think I've probably had one for 3 years.
What did you tell us, which one of the ones you say you put your brush in and then you tap the excess into?
Oh,
It's
it's
the
such a good memory.
Okay.
Just such a good
Okay, it's
student,
the-
Emily. Yes, it's the mineral powder. So at home, I tap my brush into the larger well. I tap the excess out into the lid. I only use what's in the lid. Apply that. When I'm done, I put it right there. So that way I'm not wasting any. And this insert is removable, because how many of us know how you get to the,
Or forget to close it.
you get right to the end, right? And you say, I know it's more powder in there. And so you can actually remove this insert and then put it with your new one. So I like that. But over time, it can get clogged, so you can take that out, clean it. So yeah, but I don't like to waste any. This is just really good product. Okay, and then our blending brush, the new blending brush, this is 16. Okay, we have a mineral powder foundation brush. This is one of the older ones. They're kabuki brushes, but I still use them. So these are only 10. And then our finishing spray, which is amazing. We even have a finishing spray for hot flashes now. But this one is only 18, right? Only 18. Mary Kay gives women what they want. So what's great is when we go to Dallas, we can actually talk to product development and tell them what we're looking for. When they first came out with minerals, they did not have enough shades for all of our shades. They expanded that. They did not have a very deep. They didn't have a deeper shade in the CC cream, and I'm like, we have some sisters that will use this. So they came out with a very deep. So it's great when you know the company that you're supporting really wants to know, what we need. So yeah. And then our cream and powder foundation that comes in a palette, they're 16. So I just have all of the shades in one palette, but they're just $16. So no, $18. $18. So any questions? All right, perfect. Well, on the back of your profiles, you can go ahead and